Today I fucked up by cleaning my ass with a comb. This happened all of 45 minutes ago, and yes, it still hurts a bit. To start, some context. I always take incredibly long showers due to me getting sidetracked by random things, such as spinning in circles in order to get an even distribution of hot water, trying to scratch that damage, and the fascination that is my penis. Another thing to note is that I always take a comb with me to the shower as I find it helps rub in the shampoo, except this time, there was a new comb that I hadn't seen before. Now that that is out of the way, let's get into the fuck up. My shower started off as usual, rubbing a bar of soap absolutely everywhere while trying to use my fingernails to carve designs into the bar. After about 5 or so minutes of soaping, I moved to the hair process, which also went as planned. This is where I done goofed. Upon seeing this new comb, I decided to use it, as it had finer teeth. After using said comb, I realized that it also had a much sharper/thinner handle. The following actions have been made by a fucking idiot, and is NSFW. Proceed with caution. When I saw the handle, for some unknown reason, I built the thought process of this handle is so thin, I bet I'd be able to stick it up my ass and not feel it. Was it sensible? No. Was there reasoning behind it? Nada. Was it a good idea? Absolutely not. That thought was immediately followed up with why the hell not, which was then followed by a comb, of which I had never seen before, going into my ass. Now obviously, with nothing ever being in my ass before, there was a small brown patch on the end of the handle upon removal, and for some reason, I got the god-awful idea that I should clean the inside of my ass. How, you ask? Stab the handle into a bar of fucking soap, of course. With the handle now soapy, I returned to my ass and was immediately greeted with a slight stinging feeling. Whatever, that's probably the soap cleaning away and is bound to only be temporary, I thought. I was wrong. The stinging only got worse once I pulled the comb out. I then spent the rest of my shower rubbing my ass in hopes to get rid of the feeling. Fast forward to nearly an hour later and I am still feeling the consequences of putting a hair product in my ass. Overall, 1/10, would not penetrate again. Too long didn't read, I stuck a soapy comb handle up my ass in hopes to clean it. Not a good idea. Edit, too many people are reading about me using a comb to sodomize myself, go away. Edit number 2, my ass feels fine now. I've eaten a massive cheeseburger, however, so the visit to the bathroom later should be interesting. Edit number 3, a lot of you seem to be concerned as to where the comb came from/whose it is, which is so be expected since I forgot to specify that I had bought it a few months ago and only today found it again. No, thankfully, it was no one else's hair product that became my booty stabber. Edit number 4, #alright, who did it? Who gilded the booty stabber? Edit number 5, it was the soap causing the pain. The pain lasted less than 90 minutes, not the comb. The buttfuck retarded comb abuser lives to shit another day. Also, the comb was mine, don't worry. I had bought it a few months ago because of the finer teeth and had forgotten about it until now. Edit number 6, yes, I have ADHD, and yes, it is treated. I am a happy, yet easily distracted curious Charlie. You know how shampoo bottles and soap boxes all have for external use only printed on them. They're talking to you. People put those words on things for you. Came here expecting some good ass hair scratching with the bristles of a comb. Was met with soapy sodomy. The internet wins again. You're going to end up in the emergency explaining how you fell on your comb, but this story will be on the front page by then. That moment when you don't think you can be shocked at something you read on the internet again, and then a random "today I fucked up" proves you wrong. Thought it may have something to do with the bristles/tines and butt hair at first. Boy was I wrong. Think the main question I have is whose comb was it? Seemed weird you just had a random comb show up in your shower without it being someone else's. Today I fucked up by accidentally selling my boudoir photo shoot to a drunk pervert. Edit number 2, I can't handle all the requests to see the photos, so here. They're not anything special. Edit, Jesus Christ. 1. I admit I was dumb and fucked up, yo. Hence this sub. 2. The officer said he wouldn't have gone if he had other things to do, so I didn't exactly waste his time. He said it was unsafe for a stranger to have the compromising photos of me, so he understood why I wanted them back. 3. A boudoir shoot is actually a pretty common thing. It is not porn, and I can't believe some of y'all are defending this creep. This happened a few months ago. Sold our entire bedroom set because we were getting a new one to a nice man in his 60s. He picked up, paid, and all was well. A few hours later he messaged me on Facebook asking if the pictures were of me. Holy shit, I'd forgotten to clean everything out of the nightstand, which still contained a boudoir photo shoot I'd given my husband for our wedding. Hella embarrassed, I explained what he'd found and that I would be willing to meet him to pick up the album. Except now he starts being a creepy asshole and sending wink faces and saying he wants to keep it. The back and forth angry messaging was doing no good. He stopped responding after I threatened to get the cops involved. So I call the cops and they say there's not really anything they can do unless he starts actively harassing me. As I sold him the nightstand with the photos in it, they were technically his property. Eventually an officer went to his house as a courtesy to me and asked if he'd be willing to return the pictures, which he did. The officer drove to my place and returned them, saying the man was quite drunk and upset that I'd sent the police over. Too long didn't read, I sold a nightstand to an old drunk pervert with my semi-nudes still inside it and things got awkward. The police were called. Maybe the dude just got confused with the listing. A few dressers, some ottomans and one nightstand. Wow. That's a super nice police department you have. Doing an act of kindness and getting to check out the private nudes someone really didn't want the world to see. I'm not so surprised. $10, says the cop looked through it on the way over. Oh yes, without a doubt. Plot twist, buyer added pics of himself to album before returning it. You're gonna want to run a black light over them. And he likely made copies. I doubt a drunk dude would manage to or even think about getting copies in what must have been a couple hours time span. Definitely run a black light though, unless you prefer not to know. Today I fucked up by going down on my wife. One of my favorite things to do is go down on my wife. I have a talented tongue and I like to use it. Last night I decided to make that experience even more mind-blowing for my wife by grabbing the dildo and fucking her with it at the same time. Fun times were being had by all and things were getting very hot and very wet. Then my wife started to orgasm and my hand slipped and the dildo shot out of her vagina and directly into my right eye. I pulled away and she asked what was wrong. Not wanting to stop there, I told her not to worry about it and I would tell her after we finish, and I go to the bathroom to rinse my face, and tell her what happened. We both are laughing hard at this, but I tell her jokingly, your vagina just gave me pink eye. Well, today my eye was red, itchy, burning, and gross. I just left urgent care with drops for pink eye. My doctor thought it was hilarious and burned my ass on the way out, saying now go to the pharmacy for your vagina drops. I always thought my first lesbian sex injury would be a broken finger. Too long didn't read, while going down my wife the dildo popped out of her vagina, and hit in the eye resulting in pink eye. Edit, thank you for the upvotes, silver, gold, and kind words to most of you. I've answered some questions about positioning, cleanliness, etc. in the comments. Sorry if you feel like this wasn't the right place to post this. I've had the account for a while, but just started really using it. Back to lurking. This is the perfect first post for a 4-year account. I always thought my first lesbian sex injury would be a broken finger. Sprained neck here. Not quite as dramatic, or entertaining, as a dildo pink eye case, but still quite startling when it happened. Like one of those unrealistic movie scenes where somebody effortlessly snaps somebody else's neck to kill them stealthily. Fucking. Ouch. It never goes down the way you want it to. Now you can get an eye patch and role play as a pirate.